Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where we talk about some of the hottest topics in music, entertainment, and reality TV. And the biggest story today, this morning, I woke up to news that Colton Underwood of The Bachelor has come out as gay. And I said I had to bring some of the best person we've talked about this on my podcast, Zachary Reality. He's going to join me in a little bit to talk about everything in regards to The Bachelor Nation reacting, and so much more. I've posted the link in the chat. I'm going to have you guys call in and as well as we get through the facts of the situation. But until we get everyone in the chat room, I'm just going to do a quick little countdown and I'll be right back. Bum-ba-dum. All right, y'all. I'm your boy, TheKempire. But before we get into this Colton Underwood story, be sure to like this video and share this video. Be kind and share the video. Also, if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out when we go live. This is a breaking story and there's so much to talk about. Look, I'm not a Bachelor expert, but I know what's been going on. And one of the biggest things that I remember from The Bachelor was this guy jumping over a fence. And I'm like, how in the hell? What in the CrossFit is going on? I wish I could do what he did. Oh my goodness. So he came out this morning on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts professing his truth. And his truth is, I'm gay. And I was like, oh, but it seems like there are mixed reactions into Colton's coming out story. And I do think it's interesting. And I thought it was worth going live and sharing my thoughts along with some of the thoughts that I've been seeing. And some of those thoughts include the Real Housewives of New York's Carol Radziwill. I always say that. I say her name. Radziwill, who is on the Real Housewives of New York formerly at this point. And she shared her own thoughts. The reason why I reported on Carol's thoughts is because I know there were a lot of comments very similar to Carol's thoughts. And let me just double check and see what everyone, and let me just get my comments in here. Shout out to the chat room. Shout out to my TikTok. Head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're also live on the Kempire on Facebook, the Kempire on Twitch as well. Hold on, let me just see. Let me just trying to get our guests on here. All right. So, as I said to you before, Colton did an interview with Robin Roberts of Good Morning America, and he confirmed that he came out. And there's been a lot of drama in recent months with Colton, and one of those things was his relationship with Cassie Randolph. And a lot of people have been, commenting, oh, how could he, put these women through these ups and downs and relationships and things like that. And that's very similar to what Carol said in her tweet. And I want to show you what Carol said in her tweet. Okay. So this is one of the tweets that Carol of the Real Housewives of New York. And as I said to you before, the reason why I'm sharing it is partially because a lot of women are saying something very similar. Oh, let me bring up. Hold on. Hey, Zach.
Hello, how are you?
Everyone, this is Zachary Reality. Hi. If you've listened to the Kempire Radio podcast, you've already heard him before. I had to bring Zach on because Zach has been watching The Bachelor and Bachelorette since the beginning. And look, Zach, I know the tea, but I don't know, the chapters and verses that there are going on with this story. Before we get into what Carol had to say, I'm not sure if you even saw what Carol had to say. Did you see what Carol said on her Twitter?
Oh. I've been full 24/7 Colton Underwood since I woke up. I am on PST tonight.
Oh, Yeah, yes, he's in California. It's very early there, and first of all, credits to Zach, the fact that I hit you up probably like before 8 o'clock. Zach, can you come on live with me today to talk about this?
I'm glad you hit me up.
I appreciate it because you are the expert. And you look, I like to talk to people that know what they're talking about. I like to cite my sources, and you are a source in regards to the Bachelor world. I was just mentioning to people, Colton Underwood, part of The Bachelor, but he was also on The Bachelorette, correct?
Yeah, he started on The Bachelorette, then went on Bachelor in Paradise, and then he became the actual Bachelor. So he was on 3 seasons.
Wow. And is that a span of like 2.5, 3 years?
No, literally 2 years, if not a year and a half.
Oh, damn.
They usually bring people back to back. So you'll film The Bachelor for 3 months, and then you could in 2 months from time, you could become the next lead.
Damn. Okay. So you see exactly why we need you here. So Colton, he came out this morning on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts. Look, yay. I loved your TikTok video. You're like, yes, queen.
Yeah. I got a yes, queen.
and we talked about on my podcast about possibly having the very first gay bachelor. Technically now, he's the first gay bachelor.
We officially have the first gay bachelor. It might not have been a season, but it's official. And I've seen a lot of people online already talk about the possibility of them actually making him the first gay bachelor and making a season out of it. And it really could be an awesome opportunity.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I've said this before, but I'll say it again as we do. I don't know if that's possible because if I go on the show, which if there's a gay bachelor, I'm signing up. How are you going to tell me I have to like Colton? What if there's another guy in the house that I'm sleeping with in the mansion in my bedroom?
That you're wait, okay, continue.
Sleeping with as my roommate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But you never know. How are you going to tell me that I have to the lead when there might be a hotter guy or a better fit for me in the house? So then it becomes a different show. So I think that they could do a Bachelor in Paradise. Then you might as well bring on the lesbians, the bis, the trans, everyone in the community. And they did something like that with The Real World, you know that I'm talking about? Something like another show. So I don't think that they can do a gay bachelor because of that reason. But they could do a Paradise.
This is my thing with Colton possibly being the gay bachelor. He just came out. You and I know when you just come out, I don't know if that's the time to go on a reality show and try and find the love of your life.
Definitely not. And I also talked about coming out takes time. You're not going to come out and the next day you're going to be so confident, this, that, and the other thing. I've been out of the closet for 5 years. I have never even been I still don't think I'm ready for a relationship. For real. So, I mean, I think it really could take time and he's a little bit older.
Wait, you just said that you would do the gay bachelor. If you're not ready for a relationship.
Maybe I am, but I still haven't been in a relationship. I really haven't. So for me, it actually took me even a few years. It really does take time.
Yeah.
So especially for someone who's suppressed it as long as him, he's 28 years old. So I definitely don't think that he's going to enter into a relationship right away. But it seems like he wants that, though. I watched the interview this morning.
I want to unpack the interview just a little bit for those that have not seen Colton Underwood come out with Robin Roberts on Good Morning America. So he says when he did The Bachelor, he knew that he was gay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's always known since he was 6 years old.
Which I thought that was really interesting. And that's where a lot of people, including Carol from The Real Housewives of New York, are criticizing him for continuing this facade.
What did Carol say? Because I missed it.
Let's get into what Carol said.
What the hell is Carol saying? Did she leave her honey?
So this is one of the tweets that Carol posted this morning in regards to Colton Underwood of The Bachelor coming out. She says, "Congrats, Colton Underwood, but also what? You apply and compete with other men to go on a TV show looking for love, and you think you might be gay? What about processing without involving TV crews and 25 girls? It's a great day for gay men, bad day for young women." Okay, react to that, please.
No.
Wait. Before you react to it, there was more. There was more.
It gets better?
I mean, better might not be the right word.
Better, but
oh, wait, this is the same one. Hold on.
What?
Carol. But it was perfect for us because I was like, you know what? We talk about the housewives. So this is perfect. Thank you, Carol, for bringing all of our worlds together.
We're the Kardashians weighing in too. I'm ready for all of it.
she went on to say, and she said some other things, but she also said, "I'm happy for Colton to be living his truth now. Is anyone talking about whether ABC executives should be vetting their contestants better or what the women think?"
Wow.
Thoughts, Zachary, on this?
I mean, that is so rude and so tone deaf. I mean, I want to say I understand where she's coming from, but literally, am I allowed to curse on here?
Yes, go
She
ahead.
could literally go fuck herself. Like, that is fucked up. Like, him coming out is about so much more than like the producers in the show. And like, this is literally about him having his moment after 28 years of suppressing who he is, figuring out who he is. He is, if you listen to his interview, he's been trying to process this and come to terms with this for years. And he's had to date women, as many gay men do. Sometimes they sleep with women too, to actually figure it out and comes to term with it and realize it. Everyone's journey to coming out is different, and we cannot fault Colton in his journey. And I think that is exactly what Carol did in that tweet, and that was so tone deaf and so messed up.
And sometimes take a beat before you tweet. Oh,
yeah,
that rhymes.
And there is like oh my God. And a lot of people are actually, you're probably not aware because you don't watch the show, but a lot of people have been, are really upset with Colton because his breakup with Cassie was very messy. He revealed himself to be a complete stalker, maybe even a sociopath.
She had a restraining order against him last year.
A restraining order against him because Cassie, he put a tracking device in her car. He stalked her outside of her house. Like, he would wait outside of her house in Huntington Beach, like drive down from LA, like, and her brother like found him in the middle of the night. And there was like so many more things. He like made a fake number. Like, he totally became a complete stalker and a freak and all horrible things. So a lot of people, and that is not okay, and we cannot excuse that, but a lot of people are really still mad about that, and it only happened 6 months ago, so it's still fresh. So they can't even be happy for Colton right now, and they're making Colton's coming out story about that.
And at this point, Cassie hasn't released a statement. I checked her Instagram. I'm not sure if she said anything just yet.
She should, but not yet. And Carol shouldn't speak either. Like, give this a day. Like, let him have his moment. Like, seriously, let him have a moment. Like, Cassie should. I'm sure Cassie will say something, but like, give it a second. Like,
I just want to backtrack to the whole stalking allegations. Well, I don't know if they're allegations, but she did drop the restraining order.
Yeah.
So they were able to find, obviously, some sort of peace. But I just want to say this. Even if he gets into a gay relationship, I've seen gay guys do very similar crazy things. So that he might have a tick that he needs to take care of. And that has nothing to do with him suppressing his gayness, I don't think. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that he has things to work on. And I think him coming out of the closet and embracing who he is a step in the right direction to him being a better person overall. So I'm happy for him that he came out. Obviously, I'm like ecstatic as a Bachelor fan. Like, I'm already memeing and everything. But I think that he obviously does have a lot to work on. I think he's been in therapy, and I think he should continue to do therapy. And he definitely still owes. He did apologize to Cassie on the Good Morning America interview. He definitely acknowledged it. But I do think that if he's going to come out and be more authentic, and clearly he wants to live a public life because he came out on public television, he could have easily kind of slowly went away. He clearly wants to still be in the public eye. So I think he owes Cassie more of an apology than he already did on the Good Morning America interview this morning.
He also said that he was in love with Cassie. Do you think that was true? I
don't really think he has a reason to lie about that. As a gay man, I can't imagine being in love with a woman. Can't relate on that aspect, but
he didn't say he was bisexual. Let's be very clear. He said, "I'm gay."
Yeah, he's definitely said he was gay. He's very gay, and I've known about this actually for a long time. But I've heard rumors about this, like in LA, like in the industry, like over a year ago, like from people. And I never believed it or never questioned it because he had a girlfriend. And if someone has a girlfriend, like, I'm not going to call you gay. Like, that's
Zach.
So I've just been whatever. But now that
you and I both know there are gay men that have girlfriends or have had girlfriends, have had wives.
I know, trust me, I've met them. I've literally been but it's still so hard for me to grasp because I've just always been that person that I had a girlfriend for a day, like literally like one day in middle school. Like, I can't even imagine entering that kind of relationship or like putting on that facade. Like, I especially in an adult life, like, I can't even imagine. So I just don't like to question people. If they have a girlfriend, then like, all right, that's your business. So I've never.
In this day and age, I always joke and say I was straight. No, I was bisexual for a summer. it didn't last long.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't sleep with women. And I think it's important to say in regards to Colton, unlike some other men that knew they were gay and slept with women, he didn't sleep. He was a virgin. That was the other big storyline.
Yeah. I'm assuming that he slept with Cassie in the 2 years that they were together. He must have.
They never confirmed.
I think he kind of implied it this morning on the interview, but I guess it's not confirmed. But I mean, like, how could he not? I feel like he needed to like fuck her to like actually like come
Did you confirm it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of gay guys do that, and I'm totally here for that. I personally say as far away from vagina as possible, but like, I totally
I'm a gold star gay. That has never happened for me.
But I totally understand that some guys have to fuck girls to come to terms with them being gay. So I definitely think he's up there.
Everyone's journey is going to be different. I know because Bachelor Nation does follow you. When I labeled this thumbnail, Bachelor Nation Reacts, you are representing the Bachelor Nation today.
As I should. Honestly, I am a dedicated OG Bachelor Nation fan. Like, so I ride so hard for the franchise. I've been a part of the franchise for 10 plus years. I've built a community around this franchise. And before I even was on social media, I was building a Bachelor Nation community around people in my life that were my friends. Every single one of my friends from high school, college, always knew to come to me when it was about Bachelor Nation. And now that I live in LA, I've been able to meet a couple of the producers. And I mean, I've been a Bachelor fan before I was a Housewives fan.
I understand. And that's part of the reason why I had to have you here. Because I was like, I could talk about this and, weigh in. But I like to speak to the nation. And what is the nation saying in your comments? I know they're reacting. I've seen already. I'm not even part of the nation, and people are reacting in the comments, and I'm like,
people are excited. Honestly, we've been asking for a gay bachelor for a very long time. We did not expect to get it in this way, but it's here. We have a gay bachelor, so like we got our answer. I think that what I've seen so far, about 80% of the people are very supportive, very happy. A lot of people really feel for him. I think that you can see the emotion in his body language, like. It is such an empowering moment. Like, it was so inspiring. I personally was super inspired. I put out a little post this morning. Like, it's truly amazing. And I think a lot of Bachelor Nation realizes that. But I do think that there is, still some people who are upset about the Cassie thing and the stalking thing. You can't get over that. I haven't seen anyone react in the way Carol reacted so far.
Oh, I have.
I've been out a couple hours, and I am on PST, so I'm definitely not up as early. So I haven't seen it. But,
and I have a few ladies that are waiting to chime in. But before we start taking some callers, I do. First of all, let me just post the link so people can call in and share their thoughts, so you can get live reactions from folks. For those that are watching, be sure to like this video. Also, I've posted a link to Zachary Reality's YouTube channel in the description of this video. So if you're watching this live or you're watching this afterwards, be sure to follow and support him as well. I want to talk a little bit about the suicidal thoughts. And this is the serious part of the conversation that he had with Robin Roberts. And I think it needs to be addressed for those that are being a little insensitive to his coming out story. He did express that at some point recently, when he was in LA, that he was having suicidal thoughts. What was your reaction to that?
I think it really took me back as well. I'm someone who's so confident in my sexuality. I love it and embrace it, but that wasn't always the case for me. When I was a teenager, I had suicide thoughts about my life too. And it really did take me back to when I was 14, 15, 16. And I used to threaten to my parents that I was going to kill myself as well. So I totally think that I know what it's like to be in that moment where you really, truly feel like being gay is such a sin and such a crime that you do think those thoughts and I totally understand him when he said he wanted to be straight, because I used to think that too when I was a kid. Like, I was like, I have to be straight one more year and then I'll be straight. Like,
one more year.
Literally, I think it was like 2nd or 3rd grade when I was saying, because I already knew I was gay. I was like, one more year, I'm allowed to be gay. Like, and that went up until like 9th or 10th grade. And everything that he said, it was so relatable as a gay man, like, who was in the closet at one point, and so raw and authentic. And I totally felt for him. And I mean, I'm just so happy for him. Like, it really, truly brought me back to when I came out to my parents, and I came out at 15 years old. So it's definitely a different experience for me than Colton, but I totally feel for him.
And it's also, for those that don't really know who Colton is, he grew up very religious, and that was part of the reason why he was still a virgin when he came on The Bachelor, and part of the reason why he has such internal turmoil over feeling like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to take a couple of callers just to hear a woman's perspective. Because look, two gay men talking about this, we're like, yay! But Carol,
I'm saying Yas Queen more than ever today, and the day has just started. This is not my first call.
I'm going to say, Elena, I'm going to bring you up. And I want to hear your thoughts. Hi.
Yeah,
Can I say your name
hi.
correctly?
I was a little shocked.
Are you a Bachelor fan?
I am.
Oh.
I am. I have been watching it because he didn't portray that. So I was a little shocked this morning to hear that on Good Morning America.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of taken aback. And then I knew he was in
Did
love
you
with
see the teaser
Cassie.
yesterday, though?
So what?
Did you see the teaser yesterday, though?
I did not see the teaser yesterday. So that's
We've
why
had
I
a
said
day
shocked me this morning.
We've had a day to process this because we saw the teaser yesterday. So a lot of us knew that this was coming.
Yeah.
And so this is what we need you here with Zachary.
Okay, I'm going to listen, let her talk, but I love the sound you gave me.
And so then to hear him say he was in love with Cassie, and then all of a sudden hearing about the restraining order and all of that, and I'm saying, and then hearing he's gay, and I'm like, wait a minute, these two do not go together.
I mean, I don't know if I would even say that, to be honest with you, because sexuality is so complex in a lot of ways. I can't say that maybe he'll come out in a few weeks, few months, a couple of years as bisexual. Who knows?
He could. He very well could.
Gigi Gorgeous, she's a popular influencer. She is constantly coming out. I think she's come out 3 or 4 times as different sexuality. So I think that it really does take time for people to really figure out what they are. But I also feel like for Colton specifically, I think he really needed to fall in love with a girl and let himself fall in love and fuck her. To realize
how you emphasize that part.
Realize that he actually to like accept that he was gay. Like, I think
he needs to do
fall
that.
in love with a girl.
Yeah.
Really, so that he can just like let that part of his life go.
Yeah. But I felt bad when he said he contemplated suicide, because to me that's not a problem solver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God is going to love you either way. He knows your heart.
And that was the other part. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elena. He did speak about the conversation that he had with his father. His father was there during his interview with Robin Roberts, and his father was very supportive. Surprisingly, growing up in this very religious environment, his father was very supportive. Is his mother around, Zachary?
Yeah, she's around. His parents have been divorced. I think they're both remarried. He has a big family. He has like 6 siblings.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I wonder what his mother. I didn't hear any mention of his mother's reaction to this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that his family is supportive. I mean, how could you not be, especially in this day and age? I have no idea what it's like to grow up in the. Okay, you're right. I don't know. I mean, my parents are very supportive, so maybe I'm coming from a biased place, but I don't know what it's like to grow up in the church and be Christian and have those religious backgrounds. I did not grow up religious. For me, like I went to Hebrew school, I like had a bar mitzvah, but we weren't like super religious. We kind of just did it to do it. So we didn't have those beliefs in our household. So for me, I don't know his experience, and I don't know, and that definitely has shaped him to really hide it more and try and change it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elena, any more thoughts on this entire situation?
I just think it's great for him to live his truth.
Yeah.
And to get it out there. And hopefully it will make other people more comfortable into living their truth and to coming out regardless.
As a woman, and what Carol was saying from the Real Housewives of New York, how do you feel about him going on the show knowing that he was gay?
I don't think he was really sure if he was gay.
Yeah.
And so that's why he did the show.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to take that path to kind of reaffirm, hey, am I really this way?
Yeah.
And maybe that was just the path he needed to take at the time.
Yeah.
So she shouldn't criticize him for that.
Carol needs to sit down for a minute.
Yes, she does.
Real. Well, he did say briefly that he did do the show because he was trying to force himself to be straight, and he thought that the show would be an outlet for him to do that. So that is why he did the show, in his words.
Yeah.
Elena, any last minute thoughts before we take on another caller?
Just let that man live his truth, live his life, and just support him. That's all we can do, is just support him.
And we appreciate your support. Thank you so much for calling in.
Sure.
See you later.
I have Miriam, who always loves to call in and share her thoughts. Miriam, are you on a walk?
Yes, and I stopped. I was like, just to ensure that you guys can hear me. Hi, how are you? Nice to
Hi.
meet you. Disclaimer, I
Happy
am
Ramadan, by
not,
the way.
oh, thank you. I am not like a super fan of The Bachelor. I never watched any episode. What I know are the headlines. So
Mm,
I will be. I just want to guys to know what I'm saying. Like if I look at him as a gay person coming out, I would be in tears of emotions and feeling with him and this and that. But
mm,
when he says he knew at an early age that he was gay, and for him to still go on the show, I don't know how could they have really vetted him without violating any of the gender, things that the companies have, discrimination. But my point is, he was disingenuous with the women there because some of them, as crazy as they are, they really are looking for love there, and maybe they want to get married. So I feel like
mm,
it was selfish of him to go on the show knowing that, because if you want to figure out what your sexuality really is, I don't think a reality TV show as popular worldwide as The Bachelor, you know,
Well,
is the place
yeah.
to go. I
Mhm.
know I just don't want to sound disrespectful or tone deaf. Everything he says fits on what like someone struggles. From what I've heard from many testimonies, like people coming out, this and that. But what rubs me wrong in the wrong way is that, okay, you knew you were gay, you went on the show, and then you had disagreements with your girlfriend, and then to the point that she had to file a restraining order against you. And now that there are rumors that they will have a gay bachelor, him coming out to ABC sounds suspicious to me. I'm sorry. I hate that I feel like there is a chance there that what if, like, in a few years, he says, "Oh, I thought I was gay, but I'm not." After he is the first, he wants to be the
So,
first
Miriam, you're not
religious guy.
crazy at all. You are not crazy at all. Colton has had a reputation for being very fame hungry and probably one of the thirstiest Bachelor contestants of all time.
wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
And a lot of people were accusing him of pretending to be a virgin just so he could become the Bachelor. So that
that
you're
is
not crazy at all. He's totally had this reputation for many years, and I actually do believe that there is a possibility that he is doing this because clearly, as we mentioned, he wants to be famous. If he didn't want to
yeah.
be famous and share his story in the media, he wouldn't admit this on Good Morning America. I'm sure that he's getting a deal with People Magazine to share his story and promote his book. Like, there definitely is another side to this than him just
Hmm.
wanting to share his story. Like,
Yeah. So
so
at this
that
point, like, I agree with Carol. I'm a huge Housewife fan.
Oh, oh,
I'm
oh,
I
no.
oh.
agree with
Carol
Carol. Not
exaggerated
No, but not the way that she's saying. I'm
it.
just
Okay.
saying,
Yeah.
like, there are these things, like, this is why I really want to be respectful. Like, I don't want to
Well,
offend anyone.
before you continue, Miriam, I just want to say this. There are a lot of women in my comments on this topic saying very similar things. And that's why I like it when people of different opinions come on here and share it, because it's important to have a conversation. That way we can share our experience with you, and then maybe you'll have an aha, or you'll share your experience with me and I'll have an aha. So
You,
continue.
thank you. I'm like, okay, just the first Virgin Bachelor. Like, really, we know what Bachelor is all about. Like, over there, there's already a shock value. It's like, oh, he is different. So he's always pushing the envelope in a different way.
Hmm.
That doesn't match. Like, when I heard that, I said, what? Like, a virgin goes there? Like, hell no, it can't be, because we know what happens in the show. Like, I know from the snippets, and everybody talks about it. I always felt like I'm outside the cult of Bachelor Nation, but I really
You don't have
never,
to
I,
watch The
I never
Bachelor
was.
to know what's going on.
Yeah, but like, I know that everybody's passionate, just like I am about the housewives. So who am I to judge the fans? But for me, him going there, so now for me, that was the only odd thing, very odd. And then add to that, he knew he was gay and he went on the show. And then after the show, he had restraining orders. Like, it takes a lot from a woman to file a restraining order, let me tell you. It takes a lot.
Mm.
And then after that, he comes out like he could have came out in a tweet if he has a lot of hater followers, you know. But no, he chose just before we all are hearing that this is what's going to be the next Bachelor about. Like if he said he was bisexual, it would be more believable. But the way he's saying strictly he's gay, and now like what assures me or anyone that in a few years he will say, "Oh, I thought I was gay, but I'm not."
I mean, there really is
another
no assurance.
realization.
I mean,
There's
in
no
a couple of years,
assurance
I could be bisexual. Who knows?
Oh my God. That would be so
Probably not. I don't think he's, I think he's gay.
How dare you?
I think he's gay.
Question.
I think he's always been gay.
Question for you both. Did you guys ever, because my gay radar is very off. I tend to be friendly with people, but not knowing that they're gay, and then I realize. But like friends, like friendship, not anything else. Did you guys have the suspicion that he was ever, without hearing rumors? I know you said you heard rumors in LA. Yeah. But
no, I don't question people that date women. I don't care enough to think about that. That's just me.
But don't you know when someone is, you know, it's not real? Like, it's not about judgment. It's just about the feeling. Because like we see some housewife husbands that we all have the suspicion of what they are, you know? But I
think this is it. I think a lot of people have in their minds what a gay person may look or feel like. However, I've dated the range. There are guys that you would never know that they were necessarily gay. But because there's just so many, especially in this day and age, you just will never know. So there really is no radar, honestly. There are a lot of people say, oh, I have a gaydar. There really isn't, because there are plenty of people that I've dated that you would never know.
If that exists, I don't. Like, I didn't know you were when I got to know as I'm watching your channel. I didn't know Andy Cohen was like, oh, and Anderson Cooper. I went into depression because I had the biggest crush on him. Like, I'm really bad. I'm not the person.
Miriam, I have a few callers I want to get to before, because I want to wrap this up in a little bit. Any last minute thoughts?
I just hope that he's not using this as a publicity stunt. I'm sorry. No. Like, because it's a valid cause. It's just like when someone has a cause and they take advantage of it for personal gain, which clearly he is getting no matter what. At least the sympathy card he is getting. And I'm sure he's getting some money, especially if it's from People magazine.
Oh yeah.
That's my fear.
On that. You know how much money I could have made off coming out of the closet? Like, he's gonna make $50K from this.
Yeah.
At least. Thank you, Miriam, for calling in. As always, love you and happy Ramadan. First of all, again, for those that are watching this, be sure to like this video. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe, because when we have breaking stories like this, we come live. And of course, I bring wonderful guests like Zachary Reality on YouTube as well. All of his social media is Zachary Reality, so make sure you're following. There will be links in the description of this video if you're watching it live or if you're watching it after. I want to bring up a couple more calls, but I want to post this and Zach, you might laugh at this comment because I'm laughing. Max says, he's not going to kiss a guy for money, sweetie. Have you not heard gay for pay?
I can't wait to see Colton's first boyfriend and like him in a relationship. Now, he did delete all of his Instagram posts. A lot of people are just realizing that now, but he has had all of his posts deleted since the Cassie incident and that whole situation. So he has had nothing on his Instagram for the past 6 months. I just noticed, I unfollowed him actually, because I don't like to follow people that don't post. So,
exactly, why would you?
but I checked his page and he is now putting up stories. He's in New York City, so he's been putting up a couple stories. So I'm excited to see him post his first Instagram. And maybe he'll want to share his life more authentically here on out. We'll have to wait and see.
Did you hear I heard a rumor that he's working on a reality show for Netflix?
Yeah, he's working on a docu-series for Netflix, I believe. I don't know if it has something to do with I think it has something to do with like a gay guy who's like a football player and kind of sharing that kind of story. And then as an example. I don't know if he's actually going to be in the show or if he's just working behind the scenes of the show, but either way, I think it is a compelling. What is that word? Compelling.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, compelling. I'm like, I don't.
I think it's a compelling concept. Okay. That kind of story, and needs to be shared.
I'm going to bring up another phone call because I like when I hear women's perspective. Lonnie, thank you so much for calling in. Lonnie's been here on the show multiple times. Lonnie, thoughts on Colton Underwood of The Bachelor coming out? I don't hear you, Lonnie.
Lonnie.
Yeah, try to, Lonnie. Uh-oh. Lonnie, try to call back in. Maybe that will do it. All right. So yeah, so if he's working on a reality show, and I didn't realize that he was sort of this fame hungry.
Very much so.
Wow.
Like,
are there any like examples of why people think that of him?
Of course there are.
Oh.
Well, first of all, like literally 2 weeks after he breaks up with Cassie, he's spotted on a hike with Lucy Hale, the actress. And I'm convinced that he called the paparazzi on himself. That was like a very staged situation when that happened. But if you just watched him on the show, the way he acted, and then him going on Bachelor in Paradise, and it was just very strategic the way he went on Bachelor in Paradise and then left the show because he had an inkling that he was going to become the next Bachelor, and he totally led this girl Tia on at the time. Yeah, water.
See, this is exactly why. See, I cite my sources, and this is my source right here. Because
there's a lot of it's been his reputation for a long time. People just kind of forgot about him because he truly went ghost.
You did
after. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like no one's talked about him for 6 months because of Cassie. Like once that whole situation happened, he deleted his posts. He was out of the public eye. No one's thought about it. But now he's found a way to get back in, and I feel like he is totally ready to restart his career in the media.
Wow. That's Lonnie, thoughts on this story?
Are you able to hear me now, love?
Yes.
You know what it was? I still had you connected to my Samsung TV because I like to watch you on the big screen. So
Lord, big screen.
Hi, Zachary. So this is coming from someone who on the outside, because I don't watch The Bachelor like Miriam, but I know of the story. I've seen the interview and things like that, and what's been said. So on two parts. So I can understand a portion of where Carol is coming from. I don't think that she wrote it in the correct way, but I understand, like, if you knew that you were gay and then that was how you felt, why involve yourself on such a public platform? And because now you're involving a bunch of women, because there are some women who are like, I want to get married, I want to have a baby, like I'm on here, like I want the real thing. So I can understand that aspect of it. But someone who also grew up like the same kind of household I grew up, like Catholic household, conservative household, it is not very easy to come out. And on top of that, he may also have been trying to suppress it and still trying to live that life that he felt that he was supposed to be living as a straight man who's supposed to have a wife, who's supposed to have kids.
And he said that in the interview this morning as well. He said in the interview, his intention on going on the show was very much like the other ladies, to find a wife to live the life he allegedly felt at that time he was supposed to be living. So he had the same intention really as the other women.
Well, I also want to be like real in saying that let's say there was 25 who went on the show. At least 20 of them went on for Instagram. Like only 5 actually thought that they were going to get married. But it still doesn't take away from the 5 people that actually thought that there was a chance they were going to fall in love and get married to him.
Right. And it's such a public platform for people to have Instagram fame and just fame and general, and to be on TV and that whole thrill. But I can understand like that lifestyle of just being in that kind of household and not knowing, like his father was right by his side when he did, his interview. But at the same time, you can't fast forward to kind of preview what's going to happen, or if your father is going to be there or your mother is going to be there, because you have the perception of knowing that this is the household and how I grew up. They may disown me. And a lot of people go through that. So, and I am in a situation where I have a little cousin who is a sophomore. She knows that she is gay, but she came out to a few of us, but is very afraid of what her father's going to think. So it's not a very easy thing to just be like, to just come out of the closet. Even in this day and age, it is very hard.
And you know what, I can say this, and that's the great thing about having Zach on and another woman on and my age on, because 10 years ago, or how long has it been? A little bit over 10 years ago, when I came out, it was very different than it is today. A lot of people, especially young men and women, are coming out a lot younger because our society has shifted so much in regards to their acceptance of it. When I was coming out, Or and on Staten Island of New York City, because I know everyone thinks, oh, New York's so liberal. Staten Island is not so liberal, aka Trump country. So doing that and having to wear baggy clothes and to be masculine, I still live with that sort of mentality in the back of my mind. It's not as conscious, but it's there because of the way that I grew up. So I can see if he grew up in a very religious home, I can see how that mentality has stuck with him. And he has a large family, like Zach said. So I can only imagine he's still very concerned that not everyone's going to rally around him the same way that his father is. Because my father, when I told my father, he was like, oh, so I heard. And that was it. That was our last conversation. And I still have not spoken to my mother about me being gay to this day.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing. But on the flip side, like if this is all very calculated on how he like came out, like he could have easily just lived his life, came out of the closet, lived, a happily ever after in his own world.
Especially since he left the public eye months ago.
Yeah, like you left and then all of a sudden it's just like you pop out like a birthday cake, and say like I'm gay on national TV and like all of these things are coming out. And if you and it does make it seem like this is very calculated. And if you knew that you were living that secret, if I had like a bunch of skeletons that I did not want out, I would not go on national television because there's always a bone collector or someone always willing to spill the beans on something that you've done in your past that can come out and be a big scandal, so it makes it a little bit calculated, and I think that especially if he was a stalker and had all these issues and coming out, maybe you need to kind of get yourself like together and kind of be behind the scenes and live in and go continue through your journey. Because just because you've announced that you've come out, your journey is still not over.
Yeah.
So I think he kind of needs to do that, but it may seem like he wants the spotlight still on him.
Well, he's always wanted the spotlight. I think anyone that goes on reality TV wants the spotlight. And I mean, I would love to go on reality TV, so I'm not shaming him for that. But he's also dated Allie Raisman when he was in his earlier 20s. So he was already dating a public figure and he was a football player. So he has been definitely chasing fame and the spotlight for a very long time. And I don't think that him being gay had anything to do with that. I think he wanted to be famous and be on TV regardless if this was going to come out or another. Like he was willing to kind of pay that price.
And the other side of that, I would say this, because he dated someone so publicly in his early 20s, I understand him being strategic on coming out because he's always already had this mentality of business and how that works. So to me, that makes sense. And especially in this day and age of social media, a lot of these new influencers are making these business moves and being very strategic on how they move than people back in the day. I think because they've learned from the mistakes of so many other people. So I don't really come down too hard on him on being very strategic on coming out. If anything, it's smart. Even no matter how we want to view it, if it's like very calculated, look, if he can make money off of his own story, he should, I think.
Yeah. And I think that being a celebrity or reality star, like once you're in the public eye, your entire life becomes somewhat of a business because it's your reality. So I don't really fault him for that. And I also really don't want to think too deeply into it, especially on like this day that should be celebrated for him.
Yeah.
He can get his coins. I mean, there's a lot of people who have built true success and fame off of, reality TV and have built themselves an empire. So maybe this is the beginning of him building his own empire.
Well, we will see, especially if he's working on being. Zach, we could talk about Lonnie.
We don't know if he's going to be on this show or behind the scenes.
Yeah. Lonnie, any last minute thoughts?
Now you've got me like interested, invested. Like I think I may have to start DVRing The Bachelor now.
You should. Start with Bachelor in Paradise. It's really good.
Okay, will do. Well, thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course, always. Thank you, Lonnie. So as we wind down this conversation, Zach, first of all, thank you for being here. Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, everything is at Zachary Reality. I am on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse, and I have a new podcast that's only been out for about a month where I talk about all things reality TV. I don't specify to just one show, but it is mostly Bachelor, Kardashian, and Housewives content related. And I also share a lot of my life galliking around LA.
And a really interesting story of a sugar daddy, but I'll let people go to TikTok to find out what I'm talking about.
You'll have to check that series out.
So winding this down in regards to Colton Underwood and what this means for the future, you're right. This should be a day for, especially for him, to be celebrated and not to be, deciphered and broken down and like, how could you do this? And one thing I have to give him credit, because if we, this is beyond your age range, Zach, not to, but back in the day, especially in the Black community, for the DL guys, they were sleeping with women and carrying on relationships, even though they knew that they were gay. One, we have to give him credit. He was a virgin up until Cassie. We don't know. He could still be a virgin.
Yeah.
So
I think it is confirmed. He wrote a book called For the First Time.
So I didn't read that book, so maybe he did.
It's for the first time, so I don't know.
Priya wants to know, is he going to Paradise? Probably not, right?
No, there will be no options for him in Paradise.
I mean, can we just reiterate in regards to the first gay bachelor and how that would play out? I know you said you would do it, but do you think that ABC, this very, Disney owns it, would they be open to really cultivating a new gay bachelor?
Well, like I said, I just don't know how the concept could work, just because you could fall in love with other guys in the house. But I think that they should be open to it. I think it would make fascinating television. So I think that they should be open to it. I do think Colton has positioned himself to be the best candidate for the position, especially with his story and everything and being invested. So I think they should be open to it. But considering how long it took them to get a Black bachelor, I'm expecting another 25 seasons before they let the gays in.
It's been a while since we talked, because we did an interview, and also the video version of our interviews on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So I'll post a link in the description of this video so you guys can watch that. We talked about The Bachelor before it all transpired. Can we just last minute thoughts on Matt James's season? Like, how did you feel about the season overall and how it all played out?
I mean, this is a very monumental year for Bachelor Nation, with everything going on with the Black Lives Matter and Chris Harrison. We had our first Black Bachelor. Now we have our first gay Bachelor. I mean, this is honestly amazing. And I think The Bachelor represents so much more than just a reality show. It's so popular. It represents a franchise. It represents America. So the fact that we're finally seeing the diversity in regards to race, religion, and sexuality on this franchise really shows how the nation is coming forward. I think it sets a good example. There's a correlation. So I'm totally here for that. I think it's amazing. And I think that with Matt James, the end of the season was just really unfortunate, the way everything ended up playing out, how the girl he chose ended up having this race background and they could make it work. I think when you go on the show, that's what we want to see. We want to see a love story. I think it really has opened up the conversation to a lot more important topics that needed to be had and needed to be played out on the show for America to see, so that we can move forward as a nation and as a society to be more accepting to people of all races, religions, sexual orientations, and everything else that comes along with it. So I think it's been a hard year, but I think it's been so productive moving forward.
Speaking of Matt James, I heard he was spotted with Rachel, the woman that had those racist past come up. Yeah. He was spotted with her here in the city. Do we know anything yet in regards to them rekindling this romance?
We only know from like speculation and like sources. I think that they just kind of met up, fucked, hung out for a minute, and pulled it a deuce. I mean, Matt's in California right now. He posted on his story last night that he was in Glendale. Suddenly, I'm like driving to Glendale today. So he's clearly not pursuing a relationship with Rachel. They're not together. Like he's been traveling a lot, but I think he just kind of wanted to see her. Yeah. I think he wanted to kind of see her, and like maybe they needed closure and just had some energy.
Closure sex?
Yeah. I don't think that they're together or going to pursue a relationship, but I think that they are still somewhat involved in each other's lives.
I want to reiterate in regards to, for those that are just joining us, again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit that notification bell, because when we have live stories like this, we go live and we cite our sources, and our source today is Zachary Reality, who's been watching The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise,
Bachelor Pad, Bachelor Listen to Your Heart, Bachelor Winter Games. There's a lot.
Okay, so when I say the Bachelor Nation is reacting, I'm talking here. But the first gay Bachelor, I honestly do not believe it should be Colton. Look, I was about to say Colty. Too much reality TV in my life. Colton, do you think it should be him? Because like I said earlier, I just feel like this is his first time getting into the gay community. There are a lot of gay guys that will not date someone that just came out. What, like,
Well,
how do you feel?
It doesn't mean that he's going to be the Bachelor this year.
Oh,
you know
okay.
It could take a couple years before ABC produces a gay Bachelor, if they ever do. Right now, he has positioned himself to be the perfect and best candidate. He has a story. He has people invested. It would be amazing television. Right now, he's positioned himself to be the best candidate. So right now, I'm kind of here for it.
Are there any other well-known people that you think that are openly gay that should be the Bachelor? Something to think about.
I can't even think about that at the top of my head. I feel like a lot of I just don't see a celebrity doing it. So they would have to kind of find like a well-known type of person. Sorry.
That's all right. Look, Zachary Reality. Well, Zachary, wait, go ahead.
That's the reality. Someone just called me.
Exactly. Look, and we're live. We're live. Not paid by Monique in the comments said it should be Andy Cohen. No.
I wish.
No.
Where's the application?
No. Hey, look. I'm like disgusted. But like you said, I would really want someone that we don't know, and I would watch that one.
Yeah, but what did you think of Finding Prince Charming? Because I know we talked about that a while ago.
I tried to give that a go. But I knew Robert. Not that I knew of Robert. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I knew Robert. I knew of Robert before he came on that show, and I was just sort of like the way that they kind of made him seem a certain way, and I was like, and then all his dirt was coming out the closet, and I was like, all right, at least I don't have to say it. But I think if we get the right producers, and since The Bachelor and The Bachelorette have been doing this for a very long time, they would probably take a whole different approach, and they're the masters at this. So maybe they would produce something that's high quality, and I would watch that. I would love to see that, and I think it's important.
They are changing things behind the scenes. With the whole scandal going on with Chris Harrison, they got rid of him for now. I think they're changing some producers and changing a few things behind the scenes. I don't know how that's actually going to go, but I really don't know if they're going to do The Gay Bachelor. Like, I just don't know if they'll ever do it or when they'll do it.
And why do you think there's a hesitation? Because I think that's my biggest question. Why do you think there might be a hesitation? Is it because of the Bachelor Nation, or is it because it's Disney? Like why do you think there's some sort of hesitation?
I think it's the same hesitation that took them 25 years to get a Black Bachelor on. I think they're just afraid to kind of push the demographic and the envelope. And I think it's just like a big corporation. And I think there might be some ignorant, prejudiced racists behind the franchise working behind the scenes. I don't know if that's on ABC or just The Bachelor in general. We've definitely heard rumors of that on social media about Mike Fleiss and whoever else. So I think that there might be a little bit of that going on behind the scenes and also they're just worried about ratings and their white old demographic. And then on top of that, the concept of the show would have to be, it would just be hard, as I mentioned, for 25 guys sleeping in one mansion. Like, they might make relations, kind of, and that happened on Finding Prince Charming too. We saw that on the reunion.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think they should do it because representation, as we always said, matters. And you never know if people all have the same. If they find love with each other, why not? That's the whole point of the show.
Guys, we need a bunch of guys in Paradise, which is like the spin-off show that they do, and then that could be a show. We get like 20 gay guys. It'd be iconic.
I would watch that. I
would be on that.
Oh. And if you're on it, I'm definitely watching and reporting and going to you for tea after your NDA and contract stuff are up. Zachary, thank you so much for doing this. And I knew you were the perfect person to come on and talk about this. And when we talk about bachelors again, because they will be in the news, or bachelorettes, you have to come back. Again, please let everyone know where they can get more information on everything Zachary Reality.
Well, thank you for having me on. Got me a reason to get up before 9 o'clock this morning. Everything is at Zachary Reality on my TikTok, YouTube, podcast, Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse, Grindr. Hit me up. Everything is at Zachary Reality. So, huge Bachelor Nation fan. I always talk about The Bachelor. I have all the inside scoops. So, thank you for having me on. y'all soon.
And we need to do a Clubhouse because I've been wanting to. I'm part of Clubhouse too, and I haven't really done like a room or discuss. And we talk about all the same things. So we need to do a Clubhouse together.
We can totally do a Clubhouse. It's honestly not my favorite though. I like TikTok better, but we can do.
I know, but Clubhouse is coming up. So everyone stay tuned for that. Again, follow us on our social media. All the links will be available in the description of this video. If you haven't liked this video, be sure to like it right now and hit that notification bell if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so when you have breaking news like this, you are notified. Thanks so much for tuning in for our mid-afternoon on The Bachelor. The Bachelor Nation Reacts. Again, follow my boy, Zachary Reality. And thank you, Zach, so much for all of the tea. I appreciate you waking up so early for this.
Yeah, see you later.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your boy, TheKempire. Again, all of my links will be available in the description of this video. In order for you to support the channel, there are also links there as well. Thanks to everyone in the chat room. Thanks to my TikTok that was following as well. I don't know. We'll be following the story. I didn't know a lot. Thanks to Zachary. This is why you have to cite your sources and bring them on, because I had no idea that all of this was going on with Colton behind the scenes, with the stalkerization, the restraining order. He is fame hungry. Look, we'll be following the story. I want to hear your thoughts. Men, women, gay, straight. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on Colton coming out as gay and the future of what that might mean for the Bachelor Nation and the future of the Bachelor and Bachelorette. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out when we have breaking news or when we upload. Have a great day.